This video is a little reminder on how to do linear regression on your calculator. So under my list of stats, I entered my data list. These are the independent values in L5 and the dependent values in L6, X and Y. And so I have them already in there and I want to plot them. So I'm going to go to Scatterplot and I'm going to turn on one of the stat plots. I'm going to pick Scatterplot, and you see there's list 5 and list 6. And you can pick how you want the points to look. Hit enter. And you can change the color if you have a color calculator. And then I can go graph and see them. If you notice, the scale is already really nice, and that's because I'm gonna clear some stuff out here. It was on standard, so standard only shows 1 point. I'm gonna click on zoom and go down to zoom stat. Zoom stat will pick a window. If you can't see the axes, you might make sure your X min is at 0 and your Y min is at 0. If there's no negative numbers, and when you go to graph it, you can see all your points. Now to get the line of regression, I'm going to go to stat, calculate, linear regression. I want list 5 to be my X list, list 6 to be my Y list, no frequency list, and it says store regression equation. I'm going to go store, and I push vars, and I'm going to store it in my Y1. That way I have it. It's there for me. If you have a TI-83, you do list 5, comma, list 6, comma, Y1. You still get the Y1 from the vars. So it's underneath the function variables. So the only other thing I have left to do, so right now what that does is that stores my equation in Y1. Now you could just type some of this in, but that stores the whole equation and kind of does a paste in there. The only thing left I have to do is to do my R values. So I have to go to catalog, and on this calculator, the diagnostics are not on. You need to make sure the diagnostics are on. So I come down through the catalog till I find diagnostics on. And I make sure that they're on by just hitting enter. Doesn't tell you the value, but if you pull up the old equation, that's what it looks like in a TI-83. It gives you R, and you notice the values I entered. The R value is 0.978, which is real, or 0.989, which is really strong. So I'm going to hit graph just to see what it looks like. And the stronger the R value, the closer the points will be to being on the line. And the other thing to notice is if you do one variable stats for your list, so my X average is 30, and if I do one variable stats for my Y list, then I get 38.16. So when I go back to graph, when you push trace, it's going to hop around the line, but if you notice, it went right to the points, or if you're on the other function, it goes right to that mean, 29.1, 37.1. It goes as close as it can, There we go. Right there, 30 and 38.16. Repeating, that is the X average comma Y average, and your line of regression always will go through that point. The other points, it uses kind of a best estimate, but it's always, no matter what, going to go through that point based on how you calculate it.